students, how are you all? Today we will discuss about respiration. Yeah, whatever you are saying, breathing and exchange of gases. But by the way, breathing does not having the same meaning with respiration. Breathing is different, respiration is different. Okay, breathing is what and respiration is what? Breathing is different thing, respiration is different thing. They are interlinked with each other. They are related with each other. Yes or no? First of all, we have to keep focus on two words. One is respiration, another is breathing. Yes or no? So here today's chapter is that respiratory organ of different animals. Before that, we have to understand about respiration. Respiration. Yes or no? So respiration and breathing. What is the meaning of breathing and what is the meaning of respiration? Breathing means what? Breathing means very simple. Breathing means exchange of gases between oxygen and carbon dioxide. This is called the breathing. Yes or no? Oxygen, carbon dioxide ভিতরে যাহা exchange হবো, oxygen will be taken, carbon dioxide will be exchanged. Carbon dioxide will be discharged. Yeah, oxygen will be taken, carbon dioxide will be discharged. Yeah, carbon dioxide will be taken, oxygen will be discharged. That is called breathing. Understood or not? It means this is the exchange of gases between oxygen and carbon dioxide. That is called breathing. Yes or no? Normally we do inhalation and exhalation. What is we do? We do normally, you see, inhalation and what? Exhalation. Yes or no? Inhalation, exhalation means what? Inhalation means whenever we take different kinds of gases. Different kinds of gases means what? Whenever we take oxygen from atmosphere. We normal human beings, you think about the normal human beings. We take oxygen from atmosphere through our nasal chamber, through our nostril, through our nose. We take oxygen. That oxygen goes inside our nose through our windpipe. Yes or no? Then pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, and ultimately lungs are there. Yes or no? Suppose I will draw the diagram shortly. Yes or no? You see. Suppose this is known as the nose. Understood or not? And this is the windpipe. Understood or not? Suppose this is known as the nose, windpipe. Oxygen will be taken inside the body. This is called the windpipe. Okay or not? Windpipe. So different parts are there. Yes or no? So some of the part is known as the pharynx, then larynx, then you see trachea, then you say bronchi, then ultimately it will be divided into two parts. I will say in details whenever we will study about the human respiratory system. Roughly I am saying. So here two lungs are there present. Okay, again bronchioles. These are the bronchioles. This is the bronchi portion. Bronchi portion will be divided into two. What divided into two? To different directions. It means to the left lung and right lung. These are called the bronchioles. And ultimately so many small chambers are there. Yes or no? Small chambers are there everywhere inside your lungs. These chambers are called your what? The chambers are called your alveoli. Yes or no? Alveoli. Yeah, alveolar sacs. Inside your lungs, first of all, oxygen will be stored. Then from the alveoli, different blood vessels are there connected so that oxygen can be transported easily to heart. Yes or no? Heart is present somehow here. In this portion, heart is present. Understood or not? So this much point is known as the inhalation. Then after that, from the heart, whenever each and every cell will get oxygen through artery, then after the respiration. Again, respiration is what? Respiration means inside the cell. Suppose this is the cell. This is known as the cell. Yes or no? Inside the cell, inside the artery, whenever glucose comes, yes or no? Oxygen comes. Understood? With the help of oxygen, glucose will be converted into pyruvic acid. Then after that, in mitochondria, what will happen? ATP will be formed. ATP, adenosine triphosphate. ATP will be formed. carbon dioxide will be generated as the byproduct. That carbon dioxide again will come to the lungs. Understood? Then after that carbon dioxide again through the bronchioles, bronchi, trachea, pharynx, again it will go outside the body. So this common thing is known as the inhalation and exhalation. Inhalation means inhalation of intaking of oxygen and discharging of carbon dioxide, but respiration is not breathing. Respiration is little bit vast procedure. It means after the breathing, oxygen from the lungs, it will go to cell. From the lungs, first of all through the heart, it will go to cell. Then inside the cell, glucose particles will be broken down. Respiration is different thing. Respiration means oxidation of your food. Oxidation of your food means food particles will be broken down and convert of energy. Production of energy, that is known as the respiration. Whenever energy will be produced, that is called the respiration. Energy produced in our body, in each and every cells, in the form of ATP. Okay, that ATP will be stored in mitochondria. Mitochondria is known as the powerhouse of the cell, and as a result carbon dioxide will be generated. That carbon dioxide again will come to the lungs. Understood or not? Through the heart. Then it goes outside through our body. So breathing means only simple inhalation and exhalation. Respiration means total broken down or breaking down of food particles. It means glucose inside cell, so that energy formed. Energy means that is 38 ATP. Yeah, whatever you say, simply ATP will be generated. ATP. What is that? ATP. Okay. So this is the point. Again, if you have remembered or not, respiration is so many types. First of all, respiration is two types. Yes or no? Mainly respiration is two types. What? Aerobic respiration. First type of respiration is that aerobic respiration. Yes or no? Aerobic. Aerobic respiration. Another kind of respiration is known as the anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. What is aerobic respiration? Aerobic respiration means it happens in the presence of air. Yes or no? Air presence. For aerobic respiration, it must be needed the presence of air, but anaerobic respiration, air does not require. Absence. Yes or no? Absence of air, that is known as the anaerobic respiration. So aerobic respiration means presence of air. So what happens? Inside cell, glucose, which is called C6H12O6. Yes or no? One molecule of glucose will be broken down in cytoplasm. In cytoplasm of cell, yes or no? Glucose will be broken down into pyruvate. Pyruvate. Pyruvic acid. Pyruvate. Yeah, pyruvic acid या pyric acid. Yes or no? Pyruvate. Pyruvate is what? C3H6O3. Understood or not? It will be broken down into C3H6O3. Okay. Then after that it happens in the cytoplasm, which is known as the glycolysis. This process is called glycolysis. Glucose will be broken down into pyruvate, that is called the glycolysis. What happens inside the cytoplasm? Glucose, whenever cell gains from artery, okay, glucose will be converted into pyruvate. Then pyruvate in the presence of oxygen in mitochondria. Yes or no? What happens? Three things will be generated. First of all, carbon dioxide, then water, then your what? 38 ATP. It happens in normal case, it happens in our case, human beings you say. And this is called the Krebs cycle. This pyruvate, whenever converted into 38 ATP along with carbon dioxide and water, this is called Krebs cycle. This is Krebs cycle. Krebs cycle. Krebs cycle, C-R-E-B apostrophe Krebs cycle. Yes or no? This is known as the glycolysis. Glucose will be converted into pyruvate, that is known as the glycolysis. Pyruvate will be converted into carbon dioxide, water and 38 ATP, that is known as the Krebs cycle. Yes or no? So this is called the aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration. Okay, anaerobic respiration means absence of air. Absence of air means what? Absence of air means in the absence of air it happens. It happens in case of yeast like organisms. Yeast is a very small microscopic organism. What happens? where oxygen deficient areas, where oxygen is not available. In case of insufficient of oxygen, in the absence of air, जोठी oxygen न थाए सेही केस रे एई होची this respiration happens. Yes or no? Understood or not? So anaerobic respiration means in absence of air. Aerobic respiration means in presence of air. Presence of air, absence of air. Absence of air कौन हुए? Absence of air is glucose will be converted into pyruvate. But in this case what happens? Carbon dioxide, water and 38 ATP it was formed. But in this case what happened? Ethanol will be formed. Ethanol plus carbon dioxide plus ATP. Yes or no? Ethanol, carbon dioxide and ATP. ATP, that too also 2 ATP. Very low energy, very less energy will be formed. Glucose will be converted into pyruvic acid and pyruvic acid will be converted into, here in the absence of oxygen, here there will be no presence of oxygen because anaerobic respiration means absence of oxygen. Okay, pyruvate will be converted into ethanol. Ethanol means what? Ethanol is one kind of what? Gas. It is one kind of thing, substance it happened. It formed in case of anaerobic respiration. Understood or not? Fermentation is one process. Through the process of fermentation, wine is formed there. Wine, yes or no? Suppose you will bring one test tube. Inside the test tube, you just pour the fruit juice. Suppose fruit juice will be poured here inside the test tube. Okay. Here one yeast organism you just put here inside the fruit juice, inside the test tube, then cover the test tube. Then after some time you will see what happened here. Gas will come outside. That gas is called the carbon dioxide. Okay, and what kind of smell will be generated there? That smell is called the ethanol. Okay, why? That smell is known as the ethanol. And another thing is that how you will find out that gas is known as the carbon dioxide. If you will bring lime water, okay, here if you just make the pass of lime water in carbon dioxide, then that lime water will turn into milky. Yes or no? So that's why it is proved that is carbon dioxide. This is the experiment by what you can get to know that ethanol is formed and carbon dioxide is forming or not. So this is the experiment. This is the anaerobic respiration, this is the aerobic respiration. Sometimes our body also shows anaerobic respiration in case of your huge exercise. In case of huge exercise, heavy exercise. Understood or not? At that case what happens? We take long breath. Inhalation, exhalation, it continues, it forms in a heavy rate. At that point what happens? Glucose partially broken down into what? Everything. Glucose will be converted into pyruvate, but pyruvate will be converted into lactic acid. In our muscle cells, lactic acid formed. Lactic acid will be formed. Due to formation of lactic acid, what happened? Due to formation of lactic acid, our muscle gets cramps. Muscle gets cramp. Cramp means what? We will feel pain in our muscles whenever we do heavy exercise for long time period. Yes or no? So this is the point. So these are the aerobic respiration, anaerobic respiration, and here lactic acid formation in our body in human beings sometimes so that we feel pain. This aerobic respiration occurs in multicellular organisms, advanced organisms, but this anaerobic respiration occurs in yeast type of unicellular and very simple organisms. Yes or no? We do genuinely we do respiration through our lungs. Yes or no? We have our respiratory organ that is called the lungs. But in case of some organisms, they have different types of respiratory organs. Yes or no? Different types of respiratory organs. Just like parapodia is one respiratory organ. Parapodia is present in case of Nereis. Nereis is one organism, aquatic organism, it present in the sea water, bottom portion of the sea water. In case of Nereis, this parapodia is one respiratory organ in case of Nereis. Book lungs is another kind of respiratory organs, but present in case of Scorpio. Yes or no? Book lungs is present in Scorpio. Understood? Frog, in case of frog, 3 kinds of respiratory systems are present. PCP. P means what? Pulmonary. C means what? Cutaneous. B means what? Bucopharyngeal. P means pulmonary. Pulmonary. C means cutaneous. Cutaneous. B means buccopharyngeal. Yes or no? Buccopharyngeal slit cavity. I will say you in detail. Human beings do have lungs. We have lungs for our respiration. Cuticle is present in case of earthworm. Earthworm and frog also. In case of hibernation, frog uses this cuticle. Gills present in fish, you know, and some aquatic organisms. Trachea present in some insects, terrestrial insects. Yes or no? Lungs present in humans and some other organisms also. Okay, so these are different kinds of respiratory organs. Another thing you must remember about diffusion. Diffusion and osmosis. Diffusion means from high concentration zone to low concentration zone, movement of water molecules, movement of gas molecules. That is known as the diffusion. Suppose in this point, this is the membrane. This is known as the membrane portion. Membrane means one wall portion. Yes or no? Which is very thin, elastic, stretchable, vascular. Through this membrane, suppose in this side gaseous molecules are present in high pressure zone. It means very high concentration manner gaseous particles present. But on the other side, gaseous particles present in very low manner. So movement will be upward from that side to this side. Yes or no? So this is known as the diffusion. Suppose in case of this point, much more gaseous particles will be present, then movement will be upward from that side to this side, but in this case from this side to that side. Okay. If water particles will move from high concentration to low concentration zone through the permeable membrane, then that is called what? That is called osmosis. Yes or no? So different respiratory organs you remember. Aerobic respiration, anaerobic respiration, where when lactic acid is forming. What is the differentiation between breathing and respiration? In the next class, I will say you detail about all these things. First of all, we will discuss about cutaneous respiratory tract. Yes or no? Cutaneous part is present in earthworm. Okay, thank you.